From a wife guy exposed as a narcissistic cheater to more recently harassing minors, this YouTuber can't help but keep digging a deeper grave for himself, making him one of YouTube's biggest downfalls that never fails to get worse.
What was gonna happen to me?
But to understand how he got here, let's rewind to 2013. This was the same year many lined up outside of stores for the launch of GTA 5, and the internet was just starting to go crazy over the Harlem Shake. This was also around the time when Ned would begin working at BuzzFeed, and unknown to everyone at the time, this change would soon lead to Ned and his wife Ariel taking over the YouTube space as the ideal dream couple. But fate would have other plans in store. Until then, around a year later, he became part of the Try Guys.
And we're the Try Guys.
We're back, baby, and welcome to our brand new channel.
Hosting comedy videos where 4 guys tried awkward, uncomfortable, or unfamiliar experiences for the first time.
We are going to eat 400 dumplings today.
And as he became more involved, fans were quick to dub him the wife guy. And he doubled down on that persona.
So let's talk about your wife.
I would love nothing more. Now to think about my wife. My wife. My wife. My wife.
It was perfect. However, around 2018, the Try Guys brought on a coworker named Alex. And this was the exact moment when things actually took a turn.
I miss Ned. I miss Ned too.
Hello.
At first, it looked nothing more than another workplace friendship. Late shoots, inside jokes, and 2 people spending more time together than anyone thought to question.
And who was your favorite Try Guy? We can move on.
But after a few weeks, the energy must have shifted enough for Alex's fiance to notice.
Probably a 3. It's fine.
Probably a porta potty at a music festival.
Hey, cool. He was answering my weirdest question. Where was the weirdest place you ever did it?
Because way before the internet ever caught them, he went through Alex's phone and uncovered the truth. When he confronted his fiancée Alex and Ned, it was early enough that they seemed to be able to move forward, treating it as a simple mistake instead of letting it shake up their lives.
Her fiance actually caught us like early on, and then we stopped for a while, and then
And he didn't tell your wife?
No.
Ned's wife never found out, and it got swept under the rug. However, despite being caught, they didn't stop forever.
I feel like today I'm the fun food daddy.
I think you're gonna make
As they were seen continuing the affair until September 1st, 2022, when Ned's wife was sent photos of Ned and Alex kissing at a New York City club, and it was all over for them. Living the life of wife guy had set up a simple affair into a scandal costing millions of dollars to the brand.
Killed my brand sponsorship opportunities. Right now, the only brands that'll sponsor me are Boner Pills and BetterHelp. And Free Solid. Yeah, no, actually BetterHelp rejected me too.
As their superior alone, the relationship was inappropriate. But when you add in the fact that he was married and widely known as the wife guy, it makes it 10 times worse. We'll get into why the scandal was actually far worse than a lot of people remember, but first we need to look at what happened after.
Ned confirmed the reports and since confirmed that this had been going on for some time, which was obviously very shocking to us, and we just want you to know that we had no idea this was going on.
We immediately removed Ned from work activities. Over a few weeks, that's included removing his section from videos, digitally removing him from others. There are several videos that we've deemed as fully unreleasable. You will never see them, and that is due to his involvement. And that's a decision that has cost us lots of money.
In the aftermath of almost 3 years, Ned went silent. Then he brought the whole scandal back up himself by launching a podcast and sitting down with his ex-wife for an hour-long conversation about the affair.
Just to do a podcast together about how we did the thing that everyone hates me for.
Anything publicly without kind of
the disgraced Try Guy. God, he's pathetic. Tore this whole company apart, and I mean, he's the biggest dork ever.
And instead of feeling like a clean apology or a real moment of accountability,
the way that Ned presents himself on this episode, he's also doing that whispery, like, annoying shit.
He started a new podcast. Morbidly curious. I want to listen to it, and it was agony.
The episode comes across like Ned trying to reframe the story while repeatedly prodding Ariel with awkward questions about the damage he's caused. It's brutal to watch, and we can only imagine how uncomfortable it was for her.
I'm on the verge of standing up and walking out of this room. Absolutely.
Interestingly, in the podcast's intro, he has the audacity to say this.
As we worry that something so private and painful became such a public spectacle, understand that that is the reason that she can't move forward. So this is that.
This falls apart when you start to consider why he would ever want to broadcast the pain he caused. Why wouldn't this just be a conversation between them both behind closed doors? All he does is drag his ex-wife and reopen the wounds here publicly so he can be painted as the good guy, taking accountability, all while getting views.
It's like, oh, let's exchange Instagrams. I'm like, well,
right?
Here's mine, but couple of caveats.
We really see his character when she talks about how her public image is damaged, and he immediately interrupts, saying his too. Later, when she goes into detail that she learned about the cheating from fans sending her photos, this was the question he decides to ask.
What was that moment like when everything changed for you?
Awful, obviously.
And finally, midway through the podcast, he gets called out by her.
People ask me, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no. Absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No. No.
The comments under the video completely pile on top of him, forcing him to later address the backlash.
And I wanted to take this video to address some of them. That episode with Ariel was mostly about her story, and now in this video, I'll tell a little bit more of mine.
Apart from that completely false statement, he's seen spending the rest of the video dodging accountability and talking more about himself.
One clip of me talking about society, which obviously was not the best response to that situation.
This gets deeper as since then he rebranded his channel where pretty much just tries to recreate everything he was doing earlier on the Try Guys, and it's led to multiple serious allegations. Because at face value, this channel is doing very well, but the engagement tells a very different story. One creator has questioned whether Ned's views are being artificially boosted, as on the surface the channel seems to be successful, with some uploads pulling in hundreds of thousands or even millions of views. But when you look closer, the engagement does not match the reach at all. The videos only have hundreds of likes, and the comments are mostly people pointing out how unusual that is. And to be clear, that doesn't automatically prove he's buying views. The best case explanation is that these videos are likely being pushed through paid promotion, almost like ads where people might scroll past long enough to count as a view without ever actually caring. But the crazy part is that raises an even bigger question. If a channel looks huge on paper, but the audience barely seems real, what does that mean for the sponsors paying to appear in those videos? Well, he'd get a high amount of views, make the channel look alive again, attract sponsor interest, and then get paid. All while the sponsors waste money advertising to bots. At that point, this stops being just an embarrassing comeback attempt and starts looking like something much more serious. Now, this would just be speculation. If there weren't also claims that something strange is happening in the comments with all the videos surrounding a controversy, as after Subbot Watch posted his video criticizing Ned, the comment section was suddenly filled with hate.
These included his classic "you're harassing innocent person" catchphrase to even threats against my life.
Normally that wouldn't be surprising. If you criticize a big creator, their fans usually show up to defend them. But the issue is that Ned doesn't seem to have that kind of loyal audience anymore. His normal videos get no engagement, so when a wave of accounts suddenly appears saying the same thing at the same time, it starts to feel less like organic backlash and more like coordinated damage control. And the crazy thing is, Ned seems to know this situation is happening, When someone commented, "You're a weirdo for coming after a minor," Ned responded, but noticed the strange wording, because reinvention implies there is an existing story that he believes is being reshaped or twisted. You would expect a stronger, clearer denial if the accusation had no basis at all, but instead he chose a vague response that leaves more questions than answers. However, even after things are already getting out of hand, in April he did something unthinkable.
Gentlemen, please welcome Ned Fulmer. Welcome to the Honeydew Net.
As he once again opens up the floodgates behind his cheating scandal, revealing even more details than before, which is weird for someone supposedly trying to move on. In the podcast, that feels almost like a PR stunt.
And can you tell me about your ex? Is she, well, let me ask it like this. Is she a Latina or is she just fucking processing? Having anything thrown at you? Or are you in danger of being stabbed? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or is she like, you know what I'm saying?
No, she's not a Latina, but it was very...
Ned and the host constantly try to keep a light mood. Yet as details come to the surface, even the host can't help but call him out.
Okay, so now this is out there everywhere, which has got to make your wife also feel like, great.
Yeah.
Now the world fucking knows about this shit. Man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really feel terrible for your wife right now. I don't mean to make you pile on, but I mean...
The one thing Ned doesn't really talk about until this podcast is Alex. This was the first time that Ned described that her fiance had caught them early on.
Pretty much right at the beginning.
When you say caught you, how did he catch you?
Like saw some stuff on her phone.
But they continued the affair. And that it wasn't until the fans caught them cheating and sent footage that things started to get heated.
Yeah, eventually we started, seeing each other again.
And how would you get away with it?
Despite this, at the moment, he claims he thought that he was still going to keep his job and work through the scandal at home.
And
so that's a whole new level of now.
Me and her weren't sure if I was getting fired or not, or what was happening, and then it was kind of really a surprise for both of us, which was tough to deal with. There were ways that we had talked about certain boundaries and things that would be okay versus not, and delusionally thinking oh, well, since we've talked about these other things, that this is probably fine. And
this is an unprecedented failure to anticipate the impact of his actions. It can seem like he was not clear on how bad his actions really were. He also mentions that her family forgave him during a trip they took together.
Oh, was her mom and dad together you did this?
It was, yeah.
And how did that go?
I think they accepted my apology and took their cues from their daughter. They were hurt, but also supportive of the kind of work that we were doing together to build a new sense of family life.
Mm-hmm.
But this is very different from what she actually said herself.
I mean, the answer is no. Absolutely not. No. Fuck no.
So it's very likely that the forthcoming and overly honest personality he is trying to build is only a facade, as nothing he says can be trusted. Believe it or not, he still has some fans that praise him for his newfound honesty.
What secrets are you hiding, man?
But the reality is, now that he can't lie to his wife, it seems he'll just lie to his final remaining fans. On the surface, it appears that he has this deep desire for people to know why he did what he did, and that he didn't know how bad it was. But every time he explains himself, things fail to line up. And it seems, at least for this moment, no matter what he says, whether it's his desire to change or his claims of success, he cannot be trusted. If you enjoy deep analysis on creators like these, check out the other videos on our channel.